Started out as a routine 911 call, a woman calling about a prowler outside her house. Minutes later, the woman was shot to death after she picked up a pot of boiling water from her stove. Now, the deputy sheriff who opened fire, Sean Grayson, is on trial for murder. He's claiming self-defense.
She called 911 because she thought someone was outside her home. A mother, alone, afraid. She did what any of us would do. She asked for help. Minutes later, she was dead. The person who killed her wasn't the prowler she feared. It was the officer sent to protect her. On the early morning of July 6, 2024, in Woodside Township, Illinois, 36-year-old Sonya Massey, a mother of two, a churchgoer, and a woman who loved to cook, became another name on the growing list of Black Americans killed inside their own homes by law enforcement. The bullet that ended her life wasn't fired in the chaos of a shootout, nor during a dangerous standoff. It was fired while she was standing in her kitchen, moving a pot of hot water off her stove. Deputy Sean Grayson claimed he feared for his safety. But what the body camera footage and forensic evidence revealed told a different story. One of panic, negligence, and failure on every institutional level. Sonya apologized before she was shot. She said, "Please don't hurt me." And still she was killed. Her death shattered her family, shook her community, and reignited a national debate. What happens when calling 911 becomes a death sentence? And here's the most disturbing part. This wasn't just one man's mistake. This was the consequence of a system that ignored warnings and incompetence, and left untrained deputies to handle mental health crises with loaded guns. In this episode, you'll see exactly how it all unfolded. The final 911 call that started it all, the officer's reckless split-second decision that took a mother's life, and the systemic breakdowns that made her death almost inevitable. This is not just a story about a shooting. It's about what happens when the people sworn to serve and protect become the very danger we need protection from. Movie camera, before we go deeper, I want to hear from you. Do you believe mental health crises should be handled by police or by trained civilian responders? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters in conversations like this. Welcome to the Crime Anatomy. We uncover the real stories behind the nation's most disturbing cases. If stories like this matter to you, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss an episode. Born on February 12, 1988 in San Diego, California, to Donna Massey and James Wilburn, Sonya's life wasn't defined by glamour or fame. It was built on hard work, love, and faith. She was a proud member of 2 Timothy Baptist Church in Springfield, Illinois. A woman who loved to sing and cook. She didn't have much, but what she had, she shared. Her family describes her as a very devoted mother, a woman whose world revolved around her 2 teenage children. She raised them with compassion, teaching them the values of respect and perseverance. Friends say she'd recently been focused on self-improvement, maintaining her faith, caring for her kids, and managing her own mental health challenges. Yes, Sonya had moments of struggle. Her family openly acknowledged that she had been working through mental health issues in the months before her death. But what makes her story even more tragic is this. She was doing everything right. She asked for help. She trusted the system, and the system killed her. Just after 12:50 a.m. on that quiet July night, Sonya picked up her phone and dialed 911. She told dispatchers that she believed someone was outside her home. Her voice carried the kind of fear anyone might have when they think danger is near. The dispatcher logged the call and sent deputies from the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office to her address in Woodside Township. Among them was Deputy Sean Grayson, 31 years old, a white officer with a history that raised questions about his readiness for crisis situations. He arrived with another deputy. What happened next would last only minutes, but change lives forever. The investigation exposed a chain of failures that stretched far beyond one deputy's actions. Before that night, there had been multiple police contacts involving Sonya's home. Calls had been made by her mother, expressing concern about Sonya's mental state. Officers were aware she might have been experiencing a mental health crisis. Yet that information was not relayed to the deputies responding to her 911 call. When the deputies entered her home, Sonya was in her kitchen, moving a pot of boiling water off the stove, a simple domestic action. Grayson shouted at her to put down, holding an oven mitt over her face. Inside the kitchen, the chaos lasted less than 90 seconds. Grayson's tone escalated fast. Sonya complied. She apologized, saying, "I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me." She even ducked behind a counter. The partner's body cam shows Sonya holding an oven mitt, not a weapon. She wasn't a threat. She wasn't violent. She was terrified. Yet Grayson's voice is heard, sharp and patient. Then the shots, not once but 3 times. One bullet entered through her left lower eyelid and exited through the back of her neck. She fell instantly. Silence. Then shouting. But not to save her life, to control the scene. Grayson refused to allow his partner to provide first aid. Sonya lay dying as precious seconds passed. Body camera footage from Grayson's partner, the only camera activated at that time, captured the horror. It showed Grayson refusing to allow his partner to render aid, even as Sonya lay bleeding on the floor. Emergency responders arrived soon after and rushed her to the hospital. But it was too late. Sonya Massey was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The initial reports tried to frame the shooting as self-defense. But as evidence surfaced, that story fell apart. Grayson's body camera had been off during the crucial moments, a violation of policy. The footage that did exist showed no aggression from Sonya. The autopsy confirmed she was shot at close range, under her left eye. Investigators called it unjustified. The community called it murder. Movie camera, what would you have done if this was your loved one? Calling 911 for help and never coming home again? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the Crime Anatomy for more stories that demand accountability.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You have that stack right there, maybe?
Okay. 1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
I rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Alright. Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot!
19 shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the fucking pot! Bring EMS now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female. 1078.
The Illinois State Police found his actions not only unjustified, but criminally reckless. He was fired and later charged with first-degree murder, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. In October 2025, after a widely publicized trial, Grayson was found guilty of second-degree murder, a lesser charge. The verdict sparked outrage. How could a woman be shot in her own home while begging for her life, and the killer walk away with anything less than full accountability? For Sonya's family, it was a bitter victory. They had already accepted a $10 million settlement from Sangamon County, not as closure, but as acknowledgement of wrongdoing. The county admitted that Sonya's rights had been violated. Still, no amount of money could replace a mother. No legal technicality could explain away a bullet under her eye. The community's grief was palpable. Sonya Massey's funeral was held with deep sorrow and dignity, attended by family, friends, and community members who came to honor her life and mourn the loss of a beloved mother and daughter. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump spoke at the service, calling the body camera footage a video that will shock the conscience of America, comparing it to the images of Emmett Till that galvanized a generation. In the weeks following, the Sangamon County Sheriff, Jack Campbell, publicly apologized to Sonya's family and the community. At a packed listening session, he said, "We failed Sonya and the community. I ask your forgiveness." His apology was met with a mix of applause and calls for accountability, as community leaders and activists demanded systemic change. The Justice for Sonya campaign quickly gained momentum. Fundraisers organized by Sonya's father, James Wilburn, and her uncle Raymond Massey raised hundreds of thousands of dollars to support the family's legal fight and mental health counseling for Sonya's children. The campaign also pushed for legislative reforms to prevent officers with histories of misconduct from being hired and to improve crisis response protocols.
To the Grayson family, what do you say to them? They were in the courtroom. You all obviously made eye contact at times. What's your message to them?
I feel sorry for them. The mother came over and apologized, and she said, we did not raise him that way, and I'm really sorry for your family. My heart goes out to them. We lost Sonya, but they lost a son, and what he did for Sonya, he has to pay, and they realize that.
You're saying Grayson's mother came up to you during the trial.
During the trial, and apologized not only to me, but to the entire family, especially Sonya's mother. We did not expect it, but we had been with this family on the other side, watching us, looking at us for months after months after month, and they would mumble, I'm so sorry. But to actually come over and touch us and tell us that they were sorry. There was one point that we didn't think we were going to be able to get in the courtroom. We had to fill out a list. And Mr. Wilburn made sure my name was on that list every day, and so did Donna's side of the family. But they had so many family coming in, and there was one point it didn't look like I was going to get in. And I said, hell, somebody's going to let me in. And guess what? Grayson's mom said, you can come in on our list, because they didn't have anybody over there. But because she felt sorry for the family, and they wanted to offer some types of condolences, she said that they would allow us to come in on their side, but the judge would not allow it.
Knowing how divided this case has been for so many people, is there anything to be gained even from that story that you're telling me?
Just that the fact that they're human as well, and we raise our children, but we don't know how they're going to turn out, and this is the worst case example of how a child can turn out. A monster.
Sonya's death forced a community and a nation to confront the same painful question. Why are so many black women dying when they call for help? Her story became a rallying point for advocates and lawmakers pushing for change in Illinois and beyond. It led to reforms in 911 triage, ensuring that some calls are now routed to crisis response teams instead of armed officers. It fueled conversations about body camera activation policies, accountability databases, and mental health intervention training. But most of all, it left 2 children without their mother. Children who now have to grow up knowing the people meant to protect her killed her instead. If Sonya's story teaches us anything, it's this. Accountability isn't optional. De-escalation isn't a suggestion. And a badge should never be a shield against justice. Because Sonya Massey's last words, "Please don't hurt me," should have been enough to stop a bullet. Movie camera, what lessons do you think law enforcement agencies still haven't learned from tragedies like Sonya's? Let me know below. And if you believe her story deserves to be heard, share this video so more people understand what's at stake. This has been the Crime Anatomy. We document the failures so we can build the fixes. If this story affected you, take a moment. Share it. Talk about it. Let's start conversations that save lives. Subscribe for more in-depth investigations. Turn on notifications. And share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Stay vigilant.